We do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is WD3, and this is your Hill Report news break. Well, today is Friday. Shout out to all you guys who made it to Friday. You worked hard all week. You tried your best. You served customers. But today you get a chance to start your relaxation, right? Get some rest in. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. Well, I'll tell you some folks who probably are not going to be able to enjoy the fruits of their labor. These are people who have been living deliciously for a long time. These are people who have been looking down on other people. These are people who have treated people as if they were their servants. But right now, they would do anything. I'll tell you right now, anything to be in your shoes, just to be a regular person, just to be spending time with your family, not worried about anything, not worried about paparazzi, not worried about state's attorneys, not worried about judges, right? These guys would do anything just to be you. So right now, we're just going to go around the net and see, one, why is Steve Harvey why did he leave the country right before Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, P. Diddy was closed in on? What did they find in P. Diddy's house, allegedly, when the FBI did a raid? And why was P. Diddy's family so reluctant to let the FBI in? Also, Kim Kardashian. I'm hearing some things about her, right? I'm hearing some things about the Kardashians and how they played an integral part in P. Diddy's on his parties, right? Not good stuff. For a lot of the fans of these people, you are no doubt very disappointed. No doubt you're very curious, and no doubt you are wondering what is going on. I bet a lot of people are. But, guys, you just got to let all this play out. Hopefully those who have nothing to do with it, way to go. How disciplined were you not to get involved in that stuff, right? High five, boom. Well, there's a lot of people who did get involved, and I'll tell you what, they probably regret it at this point. But right now, we're going to get into some clips, and we're just going to go around the net, right, with P. Diddy.
Evidence that's been gathered in this case was from those two raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles, and the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these performances that have been named freak-offs.
The fact that Steve left the country just as Diddy was being arrested has people buzzing. Why would he flee if he had nothing to hide? It's one thing to go on a spontaneous vacation, but to leave the U.S. the moment a close associate is taken down in a massive scandal. That's not something most people would do unless they had a very good reason to. And for Steve, that reason might be fear. That reason might be fear that the authorities are closing in on him next.
Now, so what is next? Is he going to be in jail in this facility until the trial begins? Is there a chance he could, get moved earlier than that?
As of this moment, as of this hour, as of today, yes. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be appealing this thing next to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the judge's order here to try and get him actually released.
What's even more chilling is that it's not just Steve's attendance at these parties that's under scrutiny. There are whispers, allegedly from credible sources close to the investigation, that Steve wasn't just a passive bystander. According to these sources, the FBI has been gathering evidence for years, and they've interviewed multiple witnesses who claim Steve actively participated in some of the most shocking and illegal activities that went down at these events. We're talking about things that, if proven, could completely ruin his career and lead to serious legal consequences.
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in.
For now, Steve has remained tight-lipped about all of this. He's not issued any public statement, and his representative have been suspiciously quiet. But behind the scenes, you can bet his legal team is working overtime to figure out how to navigate the storm. The fact that Steve fled the country suggests he knows there's a real possibility that he could be implicated in this scandal. After all, if he truly had nothing to worry about, why wouldn't he just stay put and defend himself?
We all saw it posted yesterday all over our social media pages. Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy.
Yikes.
She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle of abuse.
What makes this even more shocking is the sheer contrast between Steve's squeaky clean public image and the allegations now swirling around him. This is a man who has built his brand on being relatable, trustworthy, and full of down-to-earth wisdom. He's the last person anyone would expect to be caught up in something like this. But the more we learn about what allegedly went on at Diddy's parties, the more it seems like anyone who is regularly in attendance could be involved.
That he controlled every aspect of her life. He is accused of frequently beating her and would hide her in hotel rooms for days until the bruising and signs of abuse were gone.
And let's not forget, Steve's close relationship with Diddy only adds fuel to the fire. Over the years, the two have been seen together at numerous events, and there's been no shortage of public admiration between them. Steve has even praised Diddy's entrepreneurial spirit and credited him as an inspiration. But now, with Diddy behind bars and facing serious charges, that relationship is suddenly looking a lot more suspicious.
And in this lawsuit, he claims that essentially P. Diddy was the Epstein of the rap industry.
The real question on everyone's mind is this: what does Steve have to hide? Is it possible that he was merely a guest at these parties and had no idea what was really going on? Or, as the rumors suggest, was he a willing participant in the activities that have now led to Diddy's downfall? The truth is still up in the air, but as more details emerge, it's becoming harder and harder to give Steve the benefit of the doubt. The fact that the FBI has reportedly been investigating Diddy's network for years means that they're not just looking at him, they're looking at everyone who's ever been closely associated with him. And Steve, with his long-standing friendship and numerous public appearances alongside Diddy, is definitely in the spotlight. If these rumors are true, Steve could be facing much more than just a PR crisis. He could be facing criminal charges that would destroy everything he's built over the past few decades.
And I remember, like, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but like, I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside.
As the investigation continues, one thing is clear. The truth about Steve Harvey's involvement in this scandal is bound to come out eventually. Whether or not he's guilty of any wrongdoing, the fact that his name is being thrown around in connection with such serious allegations is a blow to his reputation. The longer he stays silent, the more people will begin to wonder what he's really hiding.
The issue is, it seems as though he wants to kind of like exert power and dominance over people who don't really.
Any man that has a sister, any man that has a friend that's a girl, any man that has a child, you understand, who saw that, if they wasn't appalled. What's wrong?
Don't scare me, please. What's going on? I can't.
Phew. So get this, Kim hit that unfollow button on Diddy a whole 24 hours before all this drama popped off. Now, sis been getting real cozy with the FBI and law enforcement like they had some insider tea on what was about to go down. You know they've got the scoop on everything, from drugs and booze to some shady power games. Both men and women, honey, caught up in it.
The feds are looking for Kris Jenner. When the feds raided Puffy's houses, they found tapes with evidence of Kris Jenner being part of some criminal activity.
Zionist media handlers surrounding her, all in and out her Hulu TV show, all in and out her family, all in and out the house that I created for my family. But she's not here just to have content up on adult channels. She's not here just to have that last interview magazine.
Any man that has a sister, any man that has a friend that's a girl, any man that has a child, you understand, who saw that, if they wasn't appalled.
With a friend of mine, we always talk about the system, and that she's doing a lot of good work. She's doing a lot of work more than other people that have platforms who might even came from that situation. So,
don't scare me, please. What's going on?
Now, with the FBI spilling new details on Diddy's alleged ties to sex trafficking, forced labor, and even more serious mess, this tea is about to boil over. Now, folks are really side-eyeing the Kardashians, wondering if they had a bigger hand in all these hush-hush parties than anybody originally thought. And girl, the fact that Kim decided to hit unfollow on Diddy right before the news about the raids dropped? Whoo! People are saying it's a little too convenient. Like she had the inside scoop and was trying to jump ship before the mess hit the fan. Could it be though? The Kardashians, with all their tight connections to the entertainment industry's power players, might have been way more involved than just attending these events. And if that's true, how deep does this rabbit hole go? Oh, but wait! It gets even messier. Kim Kardashian Jenner figures are also wrapped up with Lou Taylor, that controversial woman who was all up in Britney Spears' conservatorship drama. Taylor, who's real tight with Diddy, has a reputation for handling the money of some serious A-list celebs, and yup, that includes the Kardashians. Now, with her...
And it's about making sure everyone can find a job and more, and more.
More, that's the key term here. We want more for the American people.
Because frankly, having a job, I believe, in our ambition and aspiration should be baseline.
You gotta get that second job. You know, a third job if you live in a nice neighborhood. Because let me tell you something, we want to inspire the uninspired. Holistically. Inspiration is something that this country needs. And I get inspired every day. Shout out to that gentleman over here. I didn't know you could preach like that. Let me find out. How many baby mamas you got? How many? Throw me a number. I ain't gonna be surprised. I ain't even mad at you, right? Alright, so that nice dark gentleman, he's, a drug dealer is, it's a tax job. And speaking of taxes,
I want you to be able to save up for your child's education.
Now, a holistic approach here would be, to scrap the public education system so that we have more funds to holistically spread to the migrant community. It's about being inspired. It's about being inspired. Oh, God. That's good. That's Nancy's. I like it straight. The American dream. That's elusive right now, right? We're not going back to that. Y'all can't even afford groceries. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much, my brother. Oh, you a poppy. I'm sorry. You must be Dominican. Hola. Namaste until the next one. All right? Shabbat shalom to all.
The FBI found a tunnel this morning at the mansion of famous rapper Diddy in Los Angeles. Agents were called to the scene after an anonymous tip from neighbors of the rapper saying that something strange had been happening since he was arrested. When they arrived, the officers were greeted by Diddy's relatives, who seemed very nervous. They tried to block the agents from entering, but the FBI insisted and decided to conduct a search. Upon entering Diddy's bedroom, they noticed that the floor near the bed looked like it had been recently disturbed. One of the agents then moved the bed aside, and that's when they made an unbelievable discovery. An entrance covered only by a rug under the bed. Curious, the agents decided to go down the passage, but Diddy's sister started screaming desperately, begging them not to enter the tunnel. However, the officers went in anyway. The tunnel walls were freshly dug as the wet dirt showed. As they advanced, they found strange objects on the ground. The atmosphere grew heavier. With every step, the agents began to feel an eerie premonition coming from the end of the tunnel. And then, when they reached the end, what they saw left everyone in shock, and they immediately called for reinforcements. You won't believe what they found. Follow the page and comment Diddy to see Part 2.